Good afternoon, everybody. It's still afternoon, right? Yeah, okay. It's wonderful to see you. Minister Chaudhary, Minister Anand, High Commissioner Patnaik, and High Commissioner Cooter, distinguished university leaders, partners, and guests. It's a beautiful day in Mumbai, and it's a wonderful day to be a Canadian in India. It's also a new day in the relationship between our two countries. My name is Gabiel Miller, and I'm the President and CEO of Universities Canada, and I am honored to join you here and help launch the next chapter in the Canada-India partnership, surrounded by the energy and ingenuity represented in these research exhibits. As our countries embark on this journey, there's nothing more fundamental to the bond between us and nothing more with more potential to improve the lives of our citizens and the prosperity of our communities than high-quality education and research. Which is why I'm so pleased to be joined by the leaders of 4 exceptional universities today, people who don't just profess to believe in the importance of India, but whose institutions have been investing in this relationship for decades. And I'm going to introduce each one of them and ask them to join us just right up here. So first, Deep Saini, President of McGill University and past Chair of Universities Canada. And McGill's very proud to say that just this morning they announced an MOU with Jubilant, and Jubilant's co-founders are here. And we're honored to have them joining us to establish India's premier and leading center of excellence in AI and research, built around an industry-relevant master's program that will train 200 top graduates each year and prepare them for high-impact global careers in AI. Next, I would like to invite Benoit Antoine Bacon, President of the University of British Columbia, to join us. UBC is launching a permanent South Asia hub that will serve as a coordinated platform supporting transnational education, academic partnerships, and research collaboration between Canada and India, alongside a new partnership with Atlas Skill Tech University that expands opportunities for joint programming, academic pathways, and research exchange. Thirdly, I'd like to invite Kimberly Brooks, President of Dalhousie University, to join us. Dalhousie is partnering with IIT Tirupati and IISER Tirupati to establish the Tirupati Tri-Institutional Global Innovation Campus, advancing joint research, innovation, and commercialization in high-impact sectors. And finally, Melanie Wooden, President of the University of Toronto. U of T is developing a center of excellence with the Indian Institute of Science to leverage the power of AI to develop predictive healthcare systems that improve early diagnosis, expand access to care, and train the next generation of AI health leaders. U of T has supported 707 undergraduate students from India since 2020, with scholarships valued at $63 million. Together, these leaders are building deep, long-term partnerships in India around priority sectors. And we are also joined with by our friends from Colleges and Institutes Canada, and we'll be hearing more about their contributions in a moment. Over the past few months, our two governments have been working together to define what a more ambitious, more strategic partnership between our countries looks like. A few weeks ago, I had the honor of bringing 19 Canadian university presidents from coast to coast to India for our sector's largest delegation we've ever seen. From that visit, new research collaborations have been launched, pathways for students, faculty, and industry have been expanded. But most importantly, we listened and we learned from our Indian partners in government, business, and education. We learned about India's vision for the future and how central education is to its plan. We saw how our relationship must evolve to achieve both countries' long-term objectives. What's clear is that through all of our exchanges we have and will continue to have with our Indian counterparts, India is central to Canada's future, and Canada is committed to being a long-term trusted partner in India's Viksit Bharat 2047 journey. India is a leading global source of technology, engineering, and business talent, and a key partner in advanced research collaborations. In an era where competitiveness depends on ideas, skills, and innovation, our universities, colleges, and polytechnics are essential bridges between our two countries. And that is why, big buildup, We are so pleased today to announce, with the strong support of our government, that we will build a new Canada-India talent and innovation strategy. Universities Canada is honored to help lead the development of this new strategy in collaboration with our Indian counterparts and in close consultation with business, higher education, and government partners. This is not simply about exchanges or individual projects. It's about outcomes. It's about connecting the dots between initiatives so they act together to achieve measurable results. It's about deliberately, sustainably growing trust, talent, and trade, and reaping the growing benefits for our people. This new strategy will make sure that research and education are foundational to the roadmap for renewing Canada-India relations. It will leverage Canada's new $1.7 billion international talent attraction strategy and advance renewing momentum towards a stronger partnership, the joint statement issued last fall by Minister Anand and India's Minister of External Affairs. Our goal is to complete our strategy and present clear, actionable recommendations to our governments within the next 6 months, in advance of the next G20 meeting, positioning Canada and India to demonstrate concrete progress on talent, innovation, and economic partnership. We are investing in a long-term relationship that both countries need, one rooted in trust, economic ambition, and shared prosperity. And we're ready to do the work together. And now, after all of that, it's my pleasure to invite the Honourable Anita Anand, our Minister for Foreign Affairs, whose leadership has been instrumental in advancing this renewed Canada-India partnership, and who also knows a thing or two about the power of universities. Minister Anand.
Donc, merci beaucoup. C'est un grand plaisir de vous voir cet après-midi et aussi d'avoir une opportunité pour avoir une conversation sur l'importance de l'éducation et nos institutions ici et dans notre pays aussi. I'd like to take a moment as well to welcome two important individuals in the room, Premier Susan Holt and Premier Scott Moe, both representing the Canadian premiers here in India, and also premiers of provinces with leading educational institutions. Premier Holt and Premier Moe, thank you for being here with Team Canada, not only in this session, but for this visit. Donc, c'est un grand privilège pour moi d'être ici, comme j'ai dit. India is one of the world's greatest centers of learning and talent and innovation. I was a professor for 22 plus years before deciding to throw my hat in the ring to run for public office, and I was a tenured and chaired professor at the University of Toronto. Melanie, I hope things are going well back at home. It seems like they are. I also have a degree from Dal and was a professor at Queen's with President Kim Brooks, now at Dal, and so it seems like my peers went one way and I went the other way into public office, and of course, Deep and Benoit, your institutions and your work precede you both as well. So thank you all for representing Canadian universities. We have leading educational institutions in Canada, and developing this partnership with India will be good for students, faculty, research, the innovation pipeline, and the broader economy and economic advantages that we can undertake bilaterally. So thank you so much. Comme on a dit, c'était en octobre. Nous avons décidé et signé un partenariat avec l'Inde sur l'éducation. Et il y a une roadmap maintenant. C'est nécessaire d'avoir une voie pour la coopération entre nos deux pays. And as I indicated, education bleeds into other areas. Education is the fundamental foundation of a pipeline that leads into a number of other sectors of the economy. And we know that Canada and India have a deep and enduring relationship when it comes to education, and that our universities and our colleges have been partnering with each other for decades. And those partnerships have shaped leaders in numerous sectors of our economy, in the not-for-profit sector, and in various leadership positions in our country. Just a few weeks ago, Universities Canada led a delegation of 21 Canadian university presidents to India to strengthen collaboration along a number of metrics: clean energy, health innovation, artificial intelligence, and digital technologies. I can't tell you the number of times that we have talked about that particular trip, and in fact, I was trying to get the U15, U20 together for a call before this trip, but it proved to be a little more difficult than one might have otherwise thought, but I think that was owing to my schedule, not everyone else's. All that to say, we're in agreement here that talent is the engine of economic growth, and innovation thrives through collaboration. This is a Team Canada approach here. Une équipe Canada. Vous avez vu que nous pouvons travailler ensemble et nous allons continuer de le faire ensemble. Les universités, le gouvernement du Canada vont être ensemble pour nos étudiants, nos institutions et nos partenariats bilatéraux avec tout le monde. And at its core, the talent and innovation strategy sends a clear message that Canada and India are committed to working together openly, collaboratively, and ambitiously to develop the talent and ideas that will shape the future. And our bilateral collaboration is already fueling the talent engine. I want to give you just two examples. Under our Indo-Pacific strategy, we are launching new scholarships to send graduate students and researchers from 11 universities to India to collaborate in strategic fields from hydrogen and AI to climate resilience and supply chain security. I remember my days at the University of Toronto and at Queen's as well, where we looked as researchers for opportunities to work in international collaborative ventures. This is an example of that type of approach. Secondly, through a new partnership between MyTax and the All India Council for Technical Education, 300 Indian undergraduate researchers will come to Canada each year, creating a new, powerful mobility pipeline. So all of this to say that Canada's universities are frontline partners in India's growth story, not only Canada's growth story. Dual degrees, faculty exchanges, multidisciplinary mobility programs, Canadian and Indian universities are forging one of the most extensive collaborative academic networks anywhere in the Indo-Pacific. And in recent weeks alone, dozens of agreements between institutions from both countries have been signed or expanded across areas ranging from climate resilience to digital innovation and agriculture. And when I say agriculture, I know that Premier Mo's eyes light up. We are building world-class universities with leading Indian industry players. We are unfolding a flagship AI foothold in India's fastest-growing innovation market with McGill University's new partnership with the Jubilant Bhartiya Group, as you mentioned. These partnerships matter because education is more than academic exchange. It is the cornerstone of economic diplomacy. It builds trust, it opens doors across sectors, and it lays the foundation for long-term cooperation. I want to thank each and every one of you for the contribution that you make to furthering the India-Canada relationship, and in particular, for your recognition that education fuels growth, education fuels success, and education will ensure that our country's leaders and students cooperate and thrive together for decades and decades to come. Merci beaucoup.
Well, thank you again, Minister Anand, and thank you for the leadership you've shown in helping to rebuild this relationship and to point it in a new place for the future. And of course, the relationship requires leadership from both countries. And so we're so thrilled to have our next speaker with us, Minister Jayant Chaudhary. Yeah, thank you. I practiced that for a few minutes before we started. The Union Minister of State for Skill Development and Entrepreneurship. It's my privilege to invite you to say a few words.
Thank you. Honorable Minister Anita Anand, Gabiel Miller, whose leadership has brought this very rich and distinguished group together, distinguished university presidents, leaders of all our colleges and institutions of Canada, our two premiers, and I was happy to chat with Mo, who's passionate about agriculture. You got that right? In just a 2-minute conversation, from drones to tractors to what farming his family has been doing, we got into some good details. It is indeed a privilege to join you in this important occasion as we launch the India-Canadian Talent and Innovation Strategy. Right Honorable Prime Minister Carney's visit to India reflects the renewed momentum in our bilateral ties, and I'm confident that the visit and the interactions, the deliberations will yield tangible mutual benefits in advancing trade and economic ties. But we also must recognize that an investment in people is the best investment, and education has always been the enduring pillar of our relationship between our two countries, our two people. I believe that earlier this month, and this has been referred to by Anita Anand, I was so happy to see her excitement that we had the honor in February of receiving the largest delegations of Canadian university presidents, senior academic leaders in India. And I'm sure a lot of the conversations that were started, a lot of the thoughts have now gotten to a point where perhaps during the deliberations over the next few days, we can close some of those discussions and move forward. But I'm happy that with Dharmendra Pradhanji, our Cabinet Minister for Education, and the over 20 VPs engaged directly on issues on how we can collaborate deeply in advanced research and education. Under the global initiative of academic networks, 110 Canadian professors have visited Indian institutions since 2016 to teach advanced short-term courses, enriching our campuses with the global expertise. Also through the scheme of promotion of academic research collaboration, what we call SPARC, Canada ranks among the top 5 partner countries for India, and over 50 joint research projects supporting 4 phases amounts to approximately $4.22 million in collaborative funding. These projects span priority areas as energy, water, sustainability, circular economy, advanced materials, and next generation computing. We've spoken about AI. It definitely is a flavor of today, and it perhaps is going to influence a lot of our decisions together in the future. I'm happy that this foundation is now expanding into an even more integrated partnership, one that connects higher education with research, skills, entrepreneurship, and the most important feedback loop, which is industry. Under the visionary leadership of our Prime Minister, Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji, and guided by our Progressive National Education Policy 2020, we in India have embarked on a comprehensive transformational journey in our educational landscape. We are focused on multidisciplinary learning, on encouraging more experiential learning formats, strengthening research ecosystems through the Anusandhan National Research Foundation, internationalizing our campuses, and working towards a GER, which is our ambition of 50% in higher education by 2030. The scale of this change, of this reform, and the reach and the impact of it is unprecedented. And it calls for partnerships that are ambitious, credible, and forward-looking. We recognize, though, that these formal educational frameworks can sometimes fail to capture the whole story, the needs of a dynamic work environment, the needs of ever-evolving industry. And to really truly do that, our developmental journey in India towards our goal of Viksit Bharat must include and be complemented by a robust and agile policy towards developing our skilled ecosystem. We are consciously building an integrated framework with a digital backbone, our academic bank of credit, our system of creditizing, every aspect of the educational journey starting from school, going into higher education and to more short-term skilling programs. Our Skill India mission, one of the landmark key schemes that we do for short-term skilling is called the Pradhan Mantri Kaushal Vikas Yojana. Our strengthened apprenticeship frameworks and the transformation of our industrial training institutions, which are our grassroots institutions, are focused on building industry-ready talent at scale and ensuring mobility between vocational pathways and higher education. In this context, we are particularly excited about the opportunity presented by this proposed mission of more than 200 Canadian polytechnics and applied institutions to India. I'm sure that this will significantly strengthen our understanding, build more equivalence into the system, and strengthen the applied education and technical collaboration between our two countries. We are committed to providing an enabling, trusted, and predictable ecosystem for such collaborations, supported by sustained reforms aimed at strengthening transparency, regulatory clarity, and ease of doing business in education and skilling partnerships. India recently hosted the AI Impact Summit, bringing together global leaders to deliberate on the responsible and inclusive deployment of emerging technologies. And the key word there is impact. And as I said this many times ad nauseum, that this is not just simply an AI summit for opportunity or profit. It is about how these technologies can be harnessed for public good, global public good. This underscores our commitment to preparing India's workforce for the next frontiers of AI, advanced manufacturing, clean energy, quantum technologies, digital systems, and next-generation communications. Our sustained investments in STEM education, and in India we've been very pleased that women participation in our education system in STEM is particularly very encouraging. In our centers of excellence in AI, research parks, our innovation clusters are complemented by targeted skilling reforms and focused efforts in harnessing AI through initiatives such as Skilling for AI Readiness, which is a new campaign that we launched recently. I would like to say that the India-Canada talent and innovation strategy is timely and it will be consequential. Its 4 pillars, embedding Canadian capability in Indian priority sectors, translating knowledge and talent into economic outcomes, deepening and rebalancing two-way mobility, and demonstrating credibility through speed and delivery, resonates strongly with our national priorities. These initiatives, combined with India's expanding education and innovation ecosystem and Canada's strong research and applied learning ecosystem, creates a mutually complementary and forward-looking partnership. India stands ready to work with Canada to build globally competitive talent, deepen research collab, strengthen skills mobility, and foster innovation that addresses shared global challenges. Henry Ford once said that coming together is the beginning, staying together is progress, and working together is success. And it is in that spirit that we see this partnership not just as an education initiative, but it's a shared investment in our shared future. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much for your thoughtful remarks, and thank you for the image of an Indian cabinet minister and the Premier of Saskatchewan talking about drones and tractors. That's what makes this event so great. It's bringing people together to create new conversations and partnerships. Finally, to bring today's event to a close, I'm very honored to invite our friend and partner, the President and CEO of Colleges and Institutes Canada, Pari Johnston, to come forward, make a few short remarks And then I invite the ministers to lead us in a lamp lighting ceremony. Pari.
Well, thank you very much, Gabe, and it's a real honor to be here on behalf of Canada's 130 public colleges, institutes, and polytechnics. This is my 6th time in India, and I must say it feels very, very momentous to be part of what is a expanded and renewed partnership, and we're very excited to be part of today's events and more broadly the momentum we've created together to support shared interests in education, research, and innovation. I'm here representing those public institutions that support applied education, training, and research. We're trusted, place-based institutions and ready partners for what Canada and India want to do together. And we work closely with our university partners to serve our communities, both at home and here in India, to build a prosperous future for our next generation. I'm very pleased to support, and we stand ready to be key partners in the new Joint Talent and Innovation Strategy. And I really want to thank my partner, Gabiel Miller at Universities Canada, for the shoulder-to-shoulder ecosystem approach that we're taking to Canada-India Education and Research Partnership. We're looking forward to working with our partners at Global Affairs Canada and with India's Ministry of Skills Development and Entrepreneurship on an initiative that I'm pleased to announce. We will be bringing a group, as the Minister noted, of college and polytechnic leaders to India in 2 weeks. We are looking forward to signing a letter of intent with the Ministry to co-develop a roadmap that will help establish national skill centers of excellence in key areas of critical importance to both our countries: artificial intelligence, agri-tech and agri-food, critical minerals, among others. Our public colleges and institutes are globally recognized for their applied and very industry-aligned and innovative training and curricular models, including AI-enabled work. And we're looking forward to preparing students and learners and workers in both countries for meaningful careers, providing a talent pipeline to deliver on our national missions, both at home and abroad, and help businesses innovate and grow. We have over 50 years of experience doing this work in Canada and abroad, and we're very much looking forward to working here in partnership with our Indian partners. So in closing, I would like to thank everybody who is here today and who has supported this new joint talent and innovation strategy. I'm looking forward to working together with all of you in new ways to build an aligned talent pipeline that supports both Canadian and Indian partners, reinforces supply chains, encourages investments, and ensures that the economic partnership between our two countries delivers tangible benefits to Canadians and Indians and our students and learners. So to close our ceremony, I would now like to invite Minister Anand and Minister Chaudhary to light this beautiful lamp as an auspicious beginning to the new Joint Talent and Innovation Partnership between Canada and India.
Amazing, we need a match.
Yeah.
Or a lighter. I know.
That's not good. There's a candle somewhere.
There they are.
We're lighting the dia.
Diwali. You want your medicine?
Am I just going around? I'll do two.
Why not? I could do one. See if I have a skill that our minister does. Might be good. Lift this up a little bit, please. There you go. We've done that since we were kids. Yes, sir. Every year. Sometimes we will fan over. Yeah, that's right. That's collaborative.
Here you see leaders from 4 of Canada's great post-secondary institutions lighting a dia together with the Government of Canada, Universities Canada, representatives from colleges and universities. It is truly, and polytechnics, truly an indication of the collaboration that has occurred and the collaboration yet to come. Thank you so much for being here.